can we please welcome his first time taking the Babar Bar microphone, we've got John Hunt.
Well, thank you very much. I shall enjoy this immensely. I know. Now, my career as a graphic designer began when I heard a radio broadcast about Vincent van Gogh. From that moment on, I decided I'm going to be an artist. To achieve that, I had to approach the local gallery. Well, it was more than local. It was the Royal West of England Academy of Art, and they ran lots of different courses. And I applied to go on their graphic design course. So I had an interview, and if I'm doing this correct, you will see on the up here some of my early works I did at home to take to my interview. There were others as well. Hardly professional, is it? But there we are. And I was interviewed by the vice president and the head of design. They were nice old gentlemen, very interesting what I had to say, and very impressed that I'd done all this work in my spare time and not at school. So they showed me the work that students were doing. And it was considerably different to this. So I went home and thought my chances were iffy. But they did offer me a place, and that was the greatest day of my life. It was a 2-year course, and we would be doing drawing, lettering, painting, and other minor things like illustrations. So that seemed easy. The college day didn't start till 9:30, which suited me. And I turned up on the first day and did, I think it was plant drawing. We did first plant drawing. And so I was settling in very well. Everyone was very friendly. And gradually I improved. And we did things like, it was called trade drawing. And it was just objects, everyday objects. And here's one of them. Then I did a watch. This was all done in gouache colour, you know, the tubes of, it's a watercolour-based paint, very expensive, very easy to use, a little bit like emulsion, but a bit thicker, but you could water it down and use it as a watercolour. So then, oh, there's a bottle I did. Then in the second year, we had not just drawing, we had life drawing. Now, this was a bit of a surprise to me, because first, when I got there to the studio with all the other students, a young lady came in dressed in a dressing gown. Then we all sat down, and she took it off. She took it off, this woman. I'd never ever seen an unclothed woman before in my life. So, here's one of my drawings. I don't tell my mother this. Goodness knows what she would have said. But I did say, look, if my mother gets to hear about this, she might stop me coming to the light drawing classes. So. Oh, he said, oh, leave it to me. I will keep you abreast of things. Okay, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Now, moving on to Trebor. No, I'm jumping the gun. No, after college, I had to get a job. Now, there were plenty of opportunities in Bristol. There were plenty of printers, some advertising agencies, and I got a job with a large printing company. They printed packaging, every sort of packaging you could imagine. And I went for an interview. They gave me a job. They gave me an apprenticeship for 5 years. So the day came when I went, and my first day there, and it was very somber. The atmosphere was surprisingly somber. There were 35 artists there, some very talented people, and 3 bosses. Goodness knows what they did all day. And so I settled down a bit nervous, a bit shaky. No one spoke much. Time went on, I got settled in and started to improve. And we used sellotape a lot throughout the studio. And we had 1 roll of sellotape for 30-odd blokes. I think the manager was trying to run it on a shoestring. So I was there for a number of years, and it all turned out very well. Then I decided it's time for a change. So I will look around for a new job. And I came across this advertisement for a designer for Trebor, the sweet company, based just outside, well, in London, in Forest Gate, E7. And they started in 1907, and here's their first form of transport. And they were originally called Robertson and Woodcock. They were the 2 guys who formed the company. They were very successful. They eventually built a factory. Here are some of the products. They started Trebor mints, butter mints. There's a big demand. They were expanding. They built a factory. They built another factory. They kept on building factories. And at the same time, they started buying up smaller sweet companies, especially during the 2 World Wars, just to get the sweet companies' sugar quota. So that worked quite well. Here is the building they erected in Forest Gate in the 1930s. And here's one of their products. And refreshers, you must all have eaten refreshers at some stage in your life, started in the 1930s. Then we have these packs here. You can see them. I've got a display over here on the left that you're quite welcome to have a look. And these packs are over there. They were some of the first compressed sweets to come on the market. Then Trebor bought a company called Sharps. They made toffee. They were very famous for their toffee. And for their logo, they had this character called Sir Creamy Nut. They were worldwide known for their quality toffee. They really were. And I got some of their packs over there. Unfortunately, there's no toffee in them. Here are some of the packs. There's the Christmas range we did, which was just an overwrap on top of an ordinary box of toffees. Then, Trebor's main best-selling product was extra strong mints. In the, what would it be? 68, 67, they were selling £20 million worth of mints a year. But that was small fry compared to Kit Kat, you all know Kit Kat. That was bringing in 100 million. And today there are consumed in a minute, every minute of the day, 50 Kit Kat. That's a lot of sweets. The other rival was Cadbury's, of course, with their milk tray, and then Mars bars, all bringing in £100 million. That's greatly enlarged these days, really not. I think the confectionery market today is £1.75 billion a year. So that's a lot of sweets. Now, Trebor were always bringing out new products. One of them was a very good chocolate muesli bar. This was introduced long before all these cereal bars you get now. It was covered in a really good quality dark chocolate and had a muesli centre. And at first, Trebor, they didn't have any equipment to make it, so they made them all by hand for a test period. And it worked, it sold very well. Then they started TV advertising, which was very expensive. And the TV cliche was, would you risk it for a Swiss kit? Does anyone remember a Swiss kit? But it got more expensive to make with these ingredients. So they reduced the quality. That reduced the sales, of course. Then they withdrew the TV advertising, and the whole thing collapsed. So that was the end of Swiss kit. Right. Sharps, they had a factory in Maidstone, Kent. They also made Easter eggs. And it was a really good job to do design-wise, thinking up concepts and ideas for Easter eggs. And there you see my young daughter there on the right, which was a long time ago now. And Easter eggs, as I say, it was a very interesting project to work on. Now, there are lots of boiled sweets connected with Trebor, and you see a few of them there. Then there was the famous sherbet lemons. You've probably eaten some of them yourself, yeah? Then Sharps had a product called Butter Snap, which was a solid, really solid toffee, about 1 millimetre thick, covered in a really rich, sickly milk chocolate. It was popular, believe me, it was popular. This is a rough, an artist's rough, one of the bars. We sold lollipops, loads of them. Now, a big success for Trebor was in the United States in the late 50s. They imported this line called Regal Crown. And that was a hard-boiled sweet sold in bags and, as you can see, in rolls. And it was highly successful. In fact, it was the 6th largest selling candy in the United States. So it was really, really profitable. And it stayed like that for about 10 years. Now we come on to the extra strong mint market. Right. Trebor and extra strong mints, they were the leader. There was no competitor that made a strong mince. There was Roundtree with his Polo, but Polo was very sweet and hardly any peppermint in it. So, and we also sold all these other mints, soft mints, imperials, extra strong mints, all good sellers. Glitter Fruits was a hardboiled sweet. Here are a couple of designs that I put forward. One of them is over there. I've got a display of stuff to the left here, if you'd like to have a look later on. Then this is a set of rough designs for product we might be doing, or they might be doing, crystallized ginger. I don't think they got very far with that. Now, this is some of the packs we sold at Christmas, especially made for Christmas. There's, in the top right-hand corner, there's some of the cures, which we bought in from Germany, which sold very well. These are some roughs for a promotion, on-pack promotion. You sent away for these little cubes. If you sent in so many wrappers, we sent you these cubes to make up. You had to solve the problem, and then you might win £1,000. You might not. Right. What's happened there? What's happened there? Help. Where's...
You got to the end.
Brilliant. Right.
You got to the end.
What do I do? So how do I...
Ask them for a cheer. Ask them for a cheer and a round of applause.
Thank you very much.